Okay, so recently you found out that you no longer have account support from your service provider. How do you handle this? And what's the industry going to look like in the next 2, 3, 4, and even 10 years from a support standpoint? Tune in to learn more. Hi, my name is Stephen Joseph, and I'm the president and founder of EvoStream Communications. EvoStream Communications is a full-service IT consultancy, and I've been in this industry for about 20 years. Over that time, I have witnessed a complete shift in the way that carriers service their clients, especially in the middle market space. So what does the middle market or enterprise space look like? Usually these are customers that are spending a considerable amount of money with a telecom provider, anywhere from a couple of $1,000s a month to maybe $100,000 a month. And these clients expect and deserve a high level of day-to-day support from a service representative or account manager. Now, as we all know, the large service providers have been challenged with the competing local exchange carriers since the early 2000s to really reduce their price, especially as customers' requirements start to increase. Clients that needed a 1.5 meg circuit 20 years ago now need a 1 gig circuit, for example. And in order to meet the expectations of customers, the big carriers have really had to cut costs. And long story short, of all the operational challenges that they face, supporting a large sales force is a difficult thing to do if you're going to cut costs. So slowly, I've noticed that the providers, as we've seen more recent layoffs, have reduced the headcount for the number of sales representatives and service representatives that they staff for a lot of these clients. And what's unique about this situation is that most of these customers require more support than even the largest customers. So why is that? Usually if you're dealing with a Fortune 500 client, for example, they have considerable staff internally dedicated to maybe just supporting telecommunications or just billing for the telecommunications. And in a smaller business, that's really not feasible. So most of them rely on their account managers to help them out with, say, placing a trouble ticket or going into their portal and looking at one of their invoices or pulling an invoice, for example. But more and more, that role is sort of diminishing in the service provider model. And what they've done is they've gone towards a self-service support model. So carriers have been asking customers to get online for many, many years. And I'll be honest, a lot of customers resist that. They expect someone to pick up the phone and they want to get individualized support when they have an issue. However, it is more efficient to go online and simply place your own trouble ticket. As a service provider and a former employee, I can tell you, all we would normally do inside the firewall is place that same trouble ticket in the same system, or maybe in a different system that feeds into the ticketing platform. So usually the self-service models actually work. It's just a matter of making sure you spend the time to adopt them. You need to make sure all your invoices are loaded properly, and maybe you need to work with your service provider for that first couple of months to make sure everything is set in the platform. But once you do that, most of them are fairly intuitive now, and you can actually place change orders and get help, put incident tickets in and self-service fairly well. But if you're the type of client that needs more than that, what you're going to find is that service providers are going to charge for an account service manager as a line item on your invoice. They've been doing this for a long time, and we're always able to get away with it, again, in the accounts that were up market. But now you're going to find that more in the middle market accounts. And customers are going to have to make a decision. Do they either want to adopt the service model where you're self-servicing through a portal or maybe a call center, or do they want to potentially hire or work with a dedicated resource through the carrier or a solution provider like EvoStream? So for example, EvoStream provides a service called Account Management as a Service. In that model, what we do is we basically get an LOA signed from the customer, and we'll act on their behalf to place trouble tickets, look at invoices, and do the typical things that an account manager would have done. This is not to say we're going to be a TEM or a MSP in the full sense that we're providing a managed service or we're going to be doing audits on a regular basis. Of course, we can do that, but just to get the basic level of support you need, if you're not used to or don't want to have to go into a portal or call into a call center, solution provider is an alternative that can usually do that for you. But just expect that there's going to be a continuing trend where Most account representatives, if you talk to them, they probably manage 3 or 4 times the number of accounts that they managed 5 or 6 years ago. And telecommunications is complicated, so there's always going to be several different services that they need to support. And if you're doing that across, what was a dozen and is now 100 customers, that is overwhelming, and you can't get to everyone. So even if you have a sales representative, the case may be that they are not able to give you the same level of attention that you used to receive. Again, a reason to consider getting familiar with your online portal, or staff augmentation to some degree where you get a professional to do that for you. If you have any questions about this, whether you're in sales or you're a customer, please feel free to message me directly. I put all my contact information in my LinkedIn profile, and I always love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks and have a great day.